Juan Velasquez is a few days from graduating from high school, a journey that he says had a rough start.
No one understood me, and I didn't understand anyone.
That's because he spoke little English. He arrived from Guatemala when he was 8 years old.
Casi 5 años, pero
That cultural shock was
espero ir
also
pronto.
felt by Frida Alvarado,
And I didn't
who
know
was
that you were
born in
supposed to
Mexico.
step, like,
She
just
feared
to
not
stop
fitting in
altogether
school
and, just
ever
like,
since she was in the third
um,
grade, because once she failed to stop in the hallway during the Pledge of Allegiance.
one of the ladies started yelling at me because she thought I was just being disrespectful.
Does anybody know?
But their fears soon dissipated at Dalton High School in North Georgia, a school where half of the students are Latinos, just like the city that shares the name with the school.
Los maestros te apoyan mucho.
According to a study by the City University of New York, commissioned by CNN en Español, the Latino population in Georgia grew from just over 100,000 in 1990 to around a million in 2014. Most of them live in the Atlanta metro area or in North Georgia, around Dalton. The study notes that only 49% of adult Latinos in Georgia and North and South Carolina are U.S. citizens.
There are good men and women out there protecting us.
In 2011, Georgia was one of 5 states that approved tough new legislation aimed at combating illegal immigration. An appeals court struck down some parts of the law, while others are now rarely enforced. And while the legislation caused some tensions in some Latino communities in the state, in Dalton, they felt safe.
So I feel at home. I feel that everybody here tends to get along very well.
Jaime Rangel is an activist. He arrived from Mexico as a child and now enjoys the protection of the Deferred Action Against Deportation implemented by the Obama administration in 2008. He says he works with elected officials to improve relations between politicians and Latinos, who are yet to match their growth in numbers with an increase in political participation. The CUNY study predicts that Latinos will represent 3.9% of votes cast in November in Georgia, a number unlikely to make a difference in a state that has been a Republican stronghold for decades. But Rangel sees another problem.
We could be a community that Latino voters do decide elections, but we're not voting out in numbers.
He hopes the newer generations will be more active in civic participation.
There we go, Jonathan.
Something Jesus Jacobo, a teacher and former student at Dalton High, says many of his students are forced to do because their parents can't.
They're the ones doing translation. They're the ones helping the parents understand the process, so I think they become involved.
Juan Velasquez is now 18 years old. He cherishes his high school days and feels confident of his success in college. He says he knows his younger brothers, all born in the U.S., will have an easier time than he did.
They are making a new culture. They're the new generation.